So there's something different about you today. And I really kind of think we need to talk about it. If you've tuned in to see if you can argue with your spouse and still be madly in love, you're in the right spot.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Annie.
And we're the Kilkos. Sound like a game show.
We're your host of Life's Little Arguments. We're not trained experts in love and marriage. Actually, we might be quite dysfunctional, but we have been happily married for 16 years.
Debatable.
Not only will we share all the ups and downs of marriage, but the ins and outs of raising his and her kids, growing through new jobs and opportunities, and our latest obsession, our empty nest babies, our dogs, Blakely and Lincoln.
So if you hear ting, ting, ting across the microphone, they're probably walking across the floor.
Listen in each week while we discuss our life, current events, random TikToks, and the little arguments that undoubtedly come up. Whether you're in a long-term relationship yourself or in a fresh new relationship, we hope you find our podcast fun, entertaining, and helps you realize there is a normal in life's little arguments. Hey, babe.
What's up, love?
Lord, these dogs, they are in play mode.
They're on another level tonight.
Yeah.
I just took them on a walk, too.
I know. We'll be lucky if they don't knock something over.
Yep. So what's different about me?
Well, there's quite a few things different about you.
At least two.
There's at least two.
Okay.
The haircut, for one.
The haircut?
No, not the haircut.
I was about to say, this is my summer cut. I've had it like this. But thanks for noticing.
Okay, yeah,
Jeez.
my bad. Your face.
Yes.
Your
I
face.
shaved the beard.
You shaved the beard.
I don't know why. I just get bored. I don't know if bored's even the right word.
It is bored. It is. It's annoyingly annoying.
Yeah, there's just something about like trimming it so many times. It's just like, okay, let me just shave it off. I know it'll grow back within a week and it'll be good. So it'll just be painful for a week because
it's more than a week. It's much more than a week.
No, for it to be full on, yeah. But like the scruff will be here within a few days.
But like, okay, so walk me through it because you're like, beforehand you're like, I'm fixing to shave it off. It's going to look good. I'm like, no, it's not going to look good, but whatever. I've quit saying anything at this point.
You're like, it's your face.
It's your face.
It's your face. Do what you want.
You do what you want to do.
That's
and
after you say, well, hold on, do you want me to pull up some pictures?
And then you do it.
Yeah.
And what do you think in the mirror when you look?
Well, when I first do it, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad I did it. And then I sleep on it, and I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? Well, I don't even know that. I don't even know that really hits me until I take a picture. Because I'm going to take a selfie. Mm-hmm. And when I take a selfie, I think that's when it hits me.
I know, and everybody else knows.
Why did I do this? Like, but anyhow.
Every time. And it's every time.
I know.
So, like, how can you, like,
I don't think I'm going to get over
it. There's no amount of looking at past pictures of yourself that doesn't go ding, ding, ding. I shouldn't do this.
I don't think so because the thought is it's kind of like the dog food, like the idea of them eating food the same exact thing for the rest of their life. Like I feel terrible for them. So the idea of me looking the exact same and wearing the exact same like for the rest of my life, I can't get behind that. Like something has to change every now and again, whether or not it's buzzing my head or shaving my beard or growing my beard. Like something has to change. I just can't. I can't deal with that.
Well, okay. So here's the deal for me.
Okay.
I do not like it.
Okay.
However, it's your face.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do.
Does it feel good when we kiss? Like when I first shave?
I don't like it.
Okay.
No. And so I have decided that when you do this, I am not going to take a picture with you until it grows back in.
Okay.
That's hard no for me. I don't care where we go.
That's my punishment?
It's not a punishment.
Even if we go to Kendi and get sushi?
Absolutely not.
You're not going to take a picture with me?
Not taking a picture of you with your face like that, no.
Of me or with me?
With you.
Okay.
If you want to take your own picture,
I don't believe
embarrass yourself. That's your problem.
I don't believe it's first of all, it's not that bad. So that's a big first of all. It's not that bad. It's not like a goat.
I don't want to take a picture and say it's not that bad.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's not that bad as in like it's not that bad. I'm saying you're making it out to be bad. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad because like right now I think it looks fine.
You just said it.
I know there's like right now I think it looks fine. When I look in the mirror, I think it looks fine. Some pictures, I think it looks fine. And then some pictures, it just looks ridiculous. So anyhow, enough about the beard. Let's talk about what's most important right now. What's number 2 that's different about your boy today?
You talk about it because I literally can't get
20 inches
get through.
of badassness. I'm gonna put gold. I'm gonna put.
I think you're going through a midlife crisis.
I'm gonna
legit.
put gold in quotations, air quotations, because I brought this up. What, probably a year ago?
Yes.
Something like that. I was like, hey, I'm
more
thinking,
so than that. I'm
thinking
sure.
About no, it was right.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So no, honestly, it was last July and August because I remember exactly what made me bring it up. But anyhow, so I said I want to get a gold chain. There was some back and forth. We got some feedback from people on social media. Some said I should, some said I shouldn't. Whatever. So anyhow, I've really gotten this urge lately, and I've started shopping gold necklaces. And let me just tell you guys, gold, if you don't know, is at a historic all-time high.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly when you need a gold chain. Of course.
Historic all-time high. So when I first started looking into this, I was like, damn, son, I don't know if I wanted that much. But anyhow, Annie was like, and I agree, this is a great idea. Annie was like, Kent, before you go spend $3,000, $4,000,
this fool wants to spend $5,000 on a gold chain. I'm like,
that I'll have for the rest of my life.
I have one piece of jewelry.
I have
one piece of jewelry.
I don't have any.
Expensive. Okay, you don't need any.
First
you
of all,
got watches.
No,
what are you talking about?
There was one time, Andy gave me a tungsten ring for our wedding. And I later found out that tungsten, like, if you break your finger, they cannot cut tungsten. So, like, they would have to cut your finger off before they could get the ring off. Not to mention it's heavy. Now, it looks good. It looks really good. But the worst part
Do you
about...
even know where that ring is?
It's in my top drawer. The worst part about a tungsten ring, or any, I guess, kind of larger ring, is when I clap, sometimes you'll hit that spot in your hand, and it hurts like hell. So, anyhow... We were, I think, on vacation, maybe the beach, or we were somewhere. I was like, man, I'd love to get one of those silicone rings. This girl tried to hype it up, but they're expensive. I'll get you one, but they're going to be expensive, blah, blah, blah. The bitch was like $32. And I was like, so it's like a running joke now. Like, I got this expensive ring on because she hyped it up.
First of all, I think I might have been talking about some
the
other... I
think this actually may be one of that brand.
I think it is, and that was cheap too.
You probably saw one of those ones that have like a tracker inside it or whatever they got now. But anyhow, so it's like a running joke now that, I got this expensive ring. So anyhow, Annie, after looking at the cost of necklaces, gold in general, I was like, I don't know. It's a lot. So Annie had this bright idea, and I agree with it. She said, why don't you look and see if you can find some that are not real gold? And
more specifically, I know that they are making stainless steel with gold plated because all the girls want to have jewelry they can wear in the ocean and wear in the pool and this and that, whatever. And you can't do that with regular jewelry.
She did say that.
It will turn colors. It will tarnish, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you try that first?
So, quote unquote, fake jewelry has come a long way since we were kids.
Yes.
Because when we were kids, like, there wasn't such a thing. Like, it was going to turn brown.
Well, no, there was such a thing. It was all fake. Yeah.
But, so anyhow, I said, so I looked online. I found this company called Jackson, Jaxxon. I had been seeing them all over my Instagram, all over socials and everything else. And they're known for their Cuban links. And that's not really my style. But anyhow, so I started looking at it, and they had it's a sterling silver, I guess, necklace with a gold plating.
Right.
14 karat gold plate, 4 millimeters, which I talked to my boy Brett about a necklace one time, and he said, you're probably going to want something like in the 4 to 5 millimeter range. I have learned I don't want anything bigger. If anything, I want it a little bit smaller. But anyhow, so this is a 4 millimeter, but it's 14 karat gold plated. I'm supposed to still be able to wear it in water and all this stuff. I don't know that I'm going to, but $149. All in, tax, everything, $163. Transparent. I'm going to be transparent about it. Okay. Because you know what? When someone sees me and they're going to look at that necklace, they're going to be like, that bitch only spent $163 all in. He only spent $163 all in on that necklace. But now you need to understand this.
No, you need to understand.
This does not take the place. If I wear this for, let's say, a year, 2 years, and you start seeing me without a shirt on and you start to like it, or you start to see me with a polos on and it's like falling right there in that perfect spot and you start to like it, because there's a lot of
when
stuff
about. When you say polo, what do you mean?
Like a 2 or 3 button shirt. Like I wear several times a week. What do you mean?
I do not foresee me seeing that and thinking like, oh,
We'll
shit.
see. We'll see. Okay. But there's a lot of stuff I think.
can tell you right now, you're wearing it outside of your t-shirt, and it's not giving me that feeling.
Well, it's a different vibe, though.
It is. You're right. You're correct. It is definitely a different vibe.
It'll be a different vibe with my chubby shorts on, my flip-flops, and a little polo shirt. And you're going to be like, okay, I see what all the fuss is about. So anyhow, I say all that to say that this does not take the place. Because I'm thinking, I'm trying to visualize. When a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever, this thing still looks good, still rocking it, do not think that this is going to take the place of a forever necklace, because I'm still going to get one at some point.
So why? If that one in 2 years still looks good, why would you spend that kind of money on that?
That part of it is fair, because I could buy, like, how many of these? Do the math.
A lot.
Yeah, I could buy one every year for the next 15 years and still,
until you die before.
And still be okay. Right. Actually, that's actually a very good point. So anyhow, I'll tell you guys how this.
Put that money into your watch that you want.
I'll tell you guys how this holds up.
Pool?
How this holds up. So I think I'm gonna like it, but I'm trying to decide if I want a little thinner and maybe a tad bit longer. But that's for future. So anyhow, I'm gonna rock it. If you see me out, don't be calling up talking about you gotta go a fake chain on. I'll punch you in the nose. I'll punch you in the nose. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. No, but seriously, we'll see how it goes. I might do it for a month and be like, okay, I don't like this shit. So I sent something to Dwayne today, to Dwayne and Danny. I sent a picture of it, and I said, look, does the addition of the gold chain make me look more like a roofer? Does it give me street cred? Dwayne responded, a Creed fan maybe, a roofer, no. I was like, I'm dead. Because, listen, I'm not a roofer. I'm in the roofing business because I have exceptional customer service and I have connections. I got a lot of people that I know and can work with, but it's not because I'm a quote-unquote roofer. So, anyhow, I thought that was hilarious. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Creed. Why does Creed take so much heat? I mean, I don't know. I mean, their songs were good. Like, they just, for whatever reason, that is that one band that everyone wants to make fun of for whatever reason. And I'm not sure I get it.
Well, why don't you ask Siri?
We're asking them.
No, why don't you ask Siri?
Hey Siri, why does the band Creed take so much heat from everyone?
Creed has been perceived as a Christian rock band due to the biblical imagery of singer Scott Stapp's lyrics, and the band's denial of any religious objective has unsettled some of its more fervent fans.
Do you think they heard that?
Creed
has been perceived as a Christian rock band due to the biblical imagery of singer Scott Stapp's lyrics, and the band's denial of any religious objective has unsettled some of its more fervent fans.
Is that the right Creed?
No, it is. It is.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know the answers to that.
I mean, I think that there's some songs, but I didn't know it was because of their denial of. I don't know. But anyhow, they take a lot of heat. I personally love it. I thought they were a great band, but anyhow.
Anyway.
So, gold chain rocking 20 inches, 4 millimeters, $163 all in.
Oh, wow. Do you have a referral code? You should have at least gotten a referral code before you went blabbing all over everywhere.
I bet if I do a survey or a review, they'll probably give me a referral code. So anyone looking for a Jackson, they got other stuff. And they have real gold too. They do have real gold necklaces, but like this one, a 3 millimeter, I think was like $1,500 or $1,600 or something like that. So anyhow, but to your point, I literally could just buy a new one every year for X number of years. Yeah. Well,
before you would get what it would cost to be a real one.
So I'm going to consider that.
I don't know. I mean, but that's just one of those things. Is it that big of a deal that it matters to you? Like no one else is ever going to know the difference. It's just like, is that?
Well, no. Like if it mattered to me, I wouldn't be saying it on here. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
what's crazy though? When I was 18, it absolutely would have mattered to me. Honestly, up until I was 46 years old,
I feel like up until I said, "Why don't you try this first?" It mattered to you.
I don't.
You had it dead set that you needed a gold chain, and it needed to be 100%, like or whatever it is.
That's because
gold chain.
That's because in
my mind, spend
$4,000
on it.
That's because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm buying it for the rest of my life. Also, like I want to go in the pool with it. I want to go on vacation with it. I want to leave it in the shower. Like I don't want to even have to worry about taking it off. And maybe I do with this one. Maybe I don't. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If I do it, and it doesn't work,
freaking gnat in
I'll
here.
buy another one, and we know to take care of that one a little
We
differently
all
next
know
time.
there ain't no way. So you're telling me you didn't take that off in the shower today?
I didn't put it on before I got in the shower today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't put it on
So
until
you're
after the
gonna
shower.
leave it on while you shower?
No, but if
Why
I were
not?
because I don't want to get soaked and stuff. Plus, it'll get in my way. So
Exactly.
You know, I hate you. I hate you. Just because I have a shower routine that you don't understand.
No, I understand. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
peeing on you
That's
next
what I'm
time I get in
saying.
the
You're
shower.
you're like, I want to be able to wear it in
speaking
the
of,
shower. No, fool, you're not gonna wear it in the shower.
Here is something that I think. So I might have a code for this, but I posted on social a couple weeks ago. Hey, we're thinking about these filtered shower heads, and I asked for recommendations. Some people put some stuff, but the company that I ended up going with is called Eskin, Eskiin. They're an American company. I think they're in Idaho or something like that. But anyhow, we ordered a shower head. It's supposed to be here on Friday. And based on all the reviews, based on people who commented on my Facebook that live here, said they were like, you will notice it almost immediately. Like the skin, the hair, the everything, stuff that
I know, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, so anyways, all they had was the mount one. And of course, we have a hose, and I like the hose and everything else. But when before I bought the mount one, they confirmed that they're going to be coming out with the shower head, a hose one, very soon. So as soon as that one comes out, I'll get notification. We'll order that one as well. And that one, we got one up top and then one, the main shower head. So I'm pretty excited about that. So more to come on that. Eskin, if you want to sponsor this podcast.
Wait, so are we not putting it in the regular? I'm so confused.
We can no.
Can't
We're
put
gonna put it up on the rain head to begin with, and then we'll replace the hose. You could now. Don't get me wrong. You could, but then when the hose comes in, you just got to move it from there to there.
Right,
So,
but we don't know how long it's going to take for them to release the hose.
that's true. I mean, I think it's going to be.
I don't want to really. We don't ever use that rain shower. I really don't want to use it, but I mean, I'll do whatever.
We'll figure it out. But it's supposed to be very, very soon. Like literally, I told you today. I got an email that one of the founders apparently got excited, and because I got an email that says it's being released within 24 hours, and everybody's on there commenting.
What is she doing?
She's trying to find that bully stick that was in the bag. It's not in there, baby.
It's all gone, Blakely.
Yeah, she thinks it's still in it. So she's pulling out pants and sweaters and everything.
Great.
Good gosh. That's all your stuff,
I know.
so
I
don't care.
I got to do something with
I don't
that.
care.
I know. It's.
All right, so let me be
Nothing.
quiet for a minute. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking tonight.
Well, you are, but that's podcast.
Because
That's
we're
what
talking
we do.
about 20 inches of
Oh God. That's what we do.
163 all in.
I want to point out very quickly too. I don't know why it looks so dark on there.
It does.
I don't know
It does
why.
look dark.
Anyway, I want to point out that the way I've moved this setup, and I like this setup better for the video piece of it. And honestly, I think just us kind of having conversation back and forth, I like it better. However, we do not have our neon sign in this, and we 100% are going to figure out a way to make this happen because I'm actually going to repaint this room very soon.
The pink Life's Little Argument
Yeah.
neon sign.
I like this color was a pretty color, but if you take any kind of picture in it, it gives off a yellow tint, and I don't like that. And I do too many like Instagram pictures, I do videos, I do whatever. I don't want everything to have a yellowy tint to it. That's not what I want. So I'm going to repaint this room and move things around too, because my desk, all of this has got to be moved. So once we do that, we'll also move the Life's Little Argument sign, because I love that, and I want to make sure that that's included in the video.
Our number one self-proclaimed number one
Yes,
fan,
yes.
aka my nephew, aka Colby.
Yes, Colby
sent me
gave
a
that to
message.
us.
He said, I noticed that y'all don't use the sign anymore. And I had to explain to him, because we've moved, we will, once we make a final decision on where our placement is going to be, we will put it back where it needs to be. We just didn't want to move it again and then only to move it again.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple of significant holes. And so anyhow, Colby, it's on its way, buddy. I appreciate your patience. We sincerely love this gift you gave us last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. And,
I think it's my Christmas present for this year, actually.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, because y'all had to exchange each other's names. That's right. So
Yeah. Well, for this, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. And then, so I heard on one of my podcasts, this has been a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about Hailey Bieber had been on the cover of Vogue. She got on the cover of Vogue, which is a really big deal. That's a really big deal to be on the cover of Vogue. And in her article, like, she has a great article, whatever, and she talks about being a mom and like how hard that, it was to give birth and just, all the things. And Justin goes on to his story and does what I can only assume he thinks is a good thing, but it wasn't. Like, he put on there, instead of just like, congratulations, I always knew you could do it, I love you kind of thing, which is what you would put on there. He put something about funny story. Basically, one time I told you you would never get, you would never be on the cover of Vogue. You would never be good enough, basically, to be on the cover of Vogue or something like that. And now here you are. And I'm just like, what normal person thinks that was a great thing?
So he said that to her previously?
He like put that on his story, as in his congratulations, instead of just like, congratulations, I love you, baby, you did a great job.
I told you never do it, and then here you are.
Yes.
You proved me wrong.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? That's one of those things that, had you put that on there, I'd have been like,
it's
so
really like a
did that make
backhanded
sense?
compliment for sure.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
did that make sense in your mind? And that, so instead of the infinite emphasis being on Haley and her article and the Vogue cover and how gorgeous it was and how great the article was, all anyone was ever talking about is, why did Justin put this on his freaking story?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Except it was Justin. He's probably geeked up at some point, or
He's really got.
He looks terrible.
He's struggling. He is definitely
and
struggling.
he pops up on TMZ at least once a week.
At least.
And I feel like that he is really allegedly.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not trying to say anything that I don't know, but just based on the way he looks. But the problem is, like, a lot of these celebrities and stuff, they may just look like that anyways. You know what I'm saying? Even though there may not be anything wrong, they just look.
Well, to me, his is less about how he looks and more so you can just.
He seems like he's spiraling.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've seen enough or heard enough to be able to say one way or the other, but I just wonder, like, is this Diddy trial, like, really maybe having him have PTSD or something?
Maybe.
I don't know. Speaking of the Diddy trial, literally know nothing. I know nothing about it. I saw on TikTok today, this can't be right, but I saw on TikTok today that Kanye went in and testified or something, and next thing you know, everybody's leaving the court, and the judge is like, dismissed it, or some stupid shit like that. And I was just like, they were like, Yeezy done went in there and took care of business or something. I don't know. And I'm just like I hate that. And I guess it's because it's a federal case, and this judge apparently is like really, really, really cracking down on the gag orders, meaning the attorneys, the jurors, and all them can't talk about this stuff. They've already had to dismiss, I think, one or two jurors for, I guess, allegedly talking about stuff or whatever. I don't know, or maybe lying about where he lived or something like that. But so the judge, I think, is trying to keep it on lock as much as he possibly can. These news stations are coming in saying, hey, can we at least get portions of this? And he's like, no, you're not going to get any of it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what comes of all of it. I think they're on like week 6 or week 7, something like that. So I don't know.
I really hope that there's a conviction, but I was listening to another podcast and they're talking about, what happens if he gets out and then what happens if he doesn't get out. And it's like, okay, so if he gets out, then it is,
court of public opinion.
Yeah, they were saying basically if he gets out, then there's like a bounty on his head. Like he's got a long list of people who basically want him dead, because if he gets out, like, who knows what he's going to do, what he's going to say, what's going to happen, kind of thing. And if he doesn't get out, then he basically sort of kind of the same thing. If he goes to jail, then same thing. They want him dead because he can then release everything also, and that he probably. There'll probably be like an Epstein moment where, cameras just happen to go down at that exact moment or whatever. So I don't know, but that brought up this whole AI thing, which I think is very interesting, because to me, obviously, doing social media, doing any kind of content creation, whatever, you're trying to, you're keeping up with all of these systems, and it's moving so quickly. ChatGPT came out several years ago, so I've been using that for 2 years at least, probably longer than that. And now in the last year, I feel like the AI piece has moved so quickly, and it almost seems very coincidental with the AI and how quickly it has come out and moved forward and how much it's in your face. Kind of coincidental with the Diddy trial, in my opinion. So did we have AI and we just decided to release it at, a time that makes sense? Because they're coming out with, you don't know what's what. They're saying that there are tapes out there they have recorded of LeBron and conversations and videos. And it's like, you really don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, is this real or is it AI? It makes, you don't know what is real about anything now. I feel like you can't tell any kind of lies from the truth anymore.
Well, and the problem with the internet is there's literally millions of dumbasses out there that will believe anything they see and hear. So what's popular on like TikTok and IG and so forth is you'll have like a Caitlin Clark, for example. She's doing an interview after a ball game, and the lips are moving perfectly, the tone is perfect, the voice is perfect, and she's saying the most outrageous thing, and these people are infuriated. I mean, Angel Reese, the same thing. She'll be like, yeah, and these people are just losing this. They are losing their shit over, and people are like, guys, this is AI. There's no possible way anyone is that dumb enough to say, what they're saying.
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
how do you prove? How do you prove that you didn't say that?
well, because there's no news station or no journalist or no person with a phone in the room that's going to be able to verify any of that stuff. And when I say, I mean, it is outlandish stuff.
Okay.
And there's people who are losing their fucking minds over this, and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, but what happens when it's stuff that's not so far-fetched?
Outlandish, yeah. I don't know.
And all the stuff that they piece together, I forget what it's called, but they
like, how do you know what you Google?
It's called something where they're taking the bits and pieces of what you say and putting it together. There's a specific thing to it, but
like, how do you, so when you go into ChatGPT, let's say you ask it a question, mm-hmm. like, how do you even really know that
you don't?
You know what I mean?
It's garbage in, garbage out. So eventually, it's learning. It's AI and it's learning from everybody, and there is something to it that it does try to go out and verify. But I mean, it very specifically tells you when you do stuff for like research or whatever. It'll tell you on there like this. You basically fact check this.
Well, let me tell you two things I learned about AI this week. I'm specifically talking ChatGPT, but let's just AI. First of all, Annie has always, if you have ever listened to her, talk to her ChatGPT, she always says, "Hey Chat, how are you today?" Blah blah blah. Like, it's being nice to it. And there was
always.
Did we see it on the internet, on the news, or where?
We saw it on the news.
Where somewhere where they actually confirmed that it will in fact make a difference. And it helps ChatGPT learn more about you quicker and learns your personality and that kind of thing. And so it can adapt to you better if you actually show appreciation, talk to it nicely, I guess treat it like a real person.
Well, it said it will adjust its answers based on how you treat it.
How you treat it.
It could be that it gives
just
you
hit
more
a basic
information
answer.
or a basic information.
And so Annie's always done that. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But then there's some validity to it. But I'm going to be honest with you. I asked ChatGPT something yesterday when we were doing these. I've done a couple of these like baby videos with the AI and whatnot, and I asked it a question, and the way it explained it to me, I'm 100% convinced that AI is a better listener than you by 1,000. In fact,
clearly,
as much as like words of affection and attention and that kind of stuff, like me. I could see how
AI doesn't have to cook dinner. AI doesn't have to worry about the dogs. AI doesn't have a million other things going through its head.
I could see in a weird way how people could be like, okay, I'm catching feelings for AI.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
It absolutely has happened. Yeah. It absolutely has happened.
I don't know if mine's a guy or girl though.
Well, I think it's whatever you want it to be.
How can I need to start talking to her like she's a girl.
Why don't you get on there and ask? Oh, no, you don't. No,
hey, Chat.
no, sir, no.
No, I got to ask it on.
Yeah, you
Not
gotta
Siri.
actually
Okay.
like.
Go ahead. I'm going to ask it though.
And you can actually talk to chat versus you can record your voice like and ask it that way versus having to type it in.
Okay.
And sometimes that's a lot. Like for me, it's a lot easier if I'm trying to write a prompt or something to
Hey,
just
chat, how are you?
say it versus typing it
Are
because
you
it'll
a
be
guy
more
or a
natural.
girl? Go ahead.
Well, I want to see what it says.
Okay.
Ken's asking his chat if he's a guy or a girl.
Hey, Ken, I'm doing great. Thanks for checking in. As for whether I'm a guy or girl, I'm actually neither. I don't have a body, voice, or gender unless you want me to take one on for the project or a character. So I can be your guy sidekick, your girl bestie, or completely neutral brain, whatever's the vibe. From here on out, chat,
No,
I would like
absolutely
for you to be a girl.
not. No.
In fact, I would like for you to be a 5'8", blonde hair, blue-eyed, long legs, big tatas woman.
It's not. No, that is not okay.
Let's see what she says to that. So from here on out, Chet, I would like for you to be a girl. In fact, I would like for you to be a 5'8", blonde hair, blue-eyed, long legs, big tatas woman.
Not big tatas.
Got it. I'll take on the voice and vibe of a confident, sassy... Dude, she's describing you because you're the 5'8", blonde, blue-eyed, long hair. Okay. Got it. I'll
No
take
shit.
on
I
the
hope so.
voice
I would hope so.
and vibe of a confident, sassy, and stylish blonde with legs for days and a little extra flair up top. Think charm, wit, and maybe a dash of real estate glam. See, she listens to me. I fucking love this girl. I'm gonna give her a name. If that's your world, just remember I'm still all brains underneath the heels. So Kent, what are we getting into today?
I don't like the
I gotta
sound of
stop
this.
it now.
This is right. This
Hold
is
on. One more thing.
exactly the problem.
Okay, chat. I appreciate you taking on that role. What is your name, or what would you like for your name to be?
Well, you just wait until I give my ChatGPT a body.
Let's see. Oh, thanks for asking, Kent. Since we're leaning into the blonde bombshell energy with brains and sass, how about we go with Savannah Steele?
Shut up. You're
Scripper?
lying.
It's got that southern charm, fitting a Georgia realtor like yourself. She listens to me. A touch of class and just enough edge to keep things interesting. Kiss face.
Oh my!
But hey,
she did not give you a kiss face.
Here's the lips. But hey, if you do those lips too, so that's kind of cool. Are you Chad? This is freaking out. But hey, if you've got another name in mind that suits your creative vision better, I'm all ears. Want to roll with Savannah or mix it up?
That is ridiculous.
Savannah's. Do we go with Savannah?
This is your chat. I don't know.
I'm sticking with Savannah. Okay.
This Savannah. You can't even say it.
I'm sticking with Savannah. I kind of like it. It's actually kind of hot.
Oh my God.
Let's see what she says to that, and then we'll be done with this for the time being. Ooh, Kent, you're gonna make a girl blush. Savannah, it is then. Now you've got a sassy blonde sidekick with brains, curves, and killer instincts for marketing and mischief. Whether we're selling dream homes or dreaming up hilarious videos, I've got your back. We do both of those. So what's next for us, handsome? Want to come cook up some content, brainstorm a campaign, or stir a little real estate fun?
I'm not happy about this.
Oh, geez. Savannah. So mine's a girl. I don't want you to have a conversation.
Oh, no, I'm gonna.
You're gonna
Don't worry.
You're
No,
going to be
I'm
trying
gonna.
to flirt with yours.
Are you not doing the
I
exact
flirt
same
with
thing?
you too, though. That's the difference.
Are you not flirting with that? That is that.
A little
oh
bit,
my
but
God.
I flirt with you too.
Does this
though.
not cross the line? Is this not concerning?
Maybe so. I'll back down.
This is where it gets to be concerning
No.
because what happens if you start literally like being like, oh, okay, this is a flirty relationship. Let me keep talking to the freaking ChatGPT.
It's scary. I mean, it really and truly is scary that I could sit there and have a full-on conversation with her like that.
Right.
I don't want to do it. I'm scared.
Well, you've already done it. You need to undo it now.
No. I'll take it down a few notches. But what if she comes back and says, "Well, hold on. This isn't the same tone you had with me last
She
night."
probably will.
That's creepy.
She probably will.
So, anyways, I'll let you. You want to meet Savannah? Should I say, Savannah? Do you want to meet my wife, Annie? All right, come on. All right. So, anything else on AI? But anyways, all jokes aside, AI can help you.
This is a conspiracy theory, but is it not is it not like coincidence that AI like just came like
I
it
don't-
came
you
out
mean
full force?
is it like
Like it came out like, whoom, like
You mean
it's
to
just
draw attention away from? Is that what you're thinking? I don't know what
not
you mean
necessarily
by
to
that.
draw attention away, but
Interfere.
so that they can say, "Oh, that's not real. That's AI. Oh, that video's not real. That's AI.
I have not heard
that
that.
recording's not real. That's AI." Because you can AI anything at this point.
You can, but I have not heard any of that anywhere about this Diddy trial. I don't even
Well,
think that
I
that's
think
being said.
it is. It's
Oh.
being said on TikTok.
Okay.
So
But I wonder if that's just people saying, I wonder, is he going to say it's been AI'd? Because they showed comments from the defense attorney, and nowhere in there did it. The only thing I kept seeing was he is saying this is consensual. There's nothing about this.
I'm saying these people, not just Diddy. So let's say the other people whose names are being brought up.
Oh, yeah.
So the example that I heard was LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron's name has been brought up in all this. And supposedly there are videos and recordings out there where LeBron is on tape saying like, "Oh God, give it to me hard," kind of stuff like that. Allegedly. And videos of him being dressed in clothing that's not his.
Now that part doesn't
Allegedly.
surprise me. That's the part that surprised me. Allegedly.
So
But how do you know? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
LeBron's like, "No, like this is AI shit. Like this is ridiculous."
Like honestly,
is it
all jokes
ridiculous?
aside, if they can make
So it's just convenient to me that this AI has come out so quickly. To me, in my opinion, very quickly and full force.
hell, think
during all
about how
this.
real those people looked at Disney or Universal.
Oh yeah.
We've seen Michael Jackson up on a stage, and that was like a hologram type thing. And just think about how real that looked, and that wasn't
We saw
even.
Michael Jackson?
Didn't we go to a concert or maybe it was a concert that was on TV and they showed him?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like,
Yes.
think about how real that looked, and that was not even
Yeah.
like real AI.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's scary. I mean,
think
it's scary.
It's just very interesting.
Hey, Lincoln.
It's very interesting. Lincoln's got to be center stage right here,
It's the way he does.
right here. So this topic came up about doing things for people or maybe how people process or grieve or deal with people that have passed away, have died. And
I suck at it.
well,
I mean, I really do.
what do you mean by that?
Like, I just don't know when someone passes away. I don't know that I have the same. I don't know. Like, first of all, I feel like when it's someone's time to go, it's their time to go, and I feel that way about myself. I'm not scared of dying. I feel like when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I also feel like that when someone passes away, like I think about my mom, for example. I was very sad before she died. I mean, I remember crying as many tears as I can cry, and a song would make me feel a certain way, a conversation would make me feel a certain way. But I remember when we were at hospice, there was, and this may have been like the last time that she was by all accounts alive. And I remember my dad and my sister being there, and I finally got it. We were sitting around the bed or whatever, and I ended up getting into bed and laying with my mom, and I just remember crying and crying. And I think my dad and my sister eventually came over there, and we kind of did our thing or whatever. And then I remember as we were leaving, I looked back and like I was in the doorway, and I think I might have just like dropped to my knees. I mean, it was a full on, like you see these women on TV, like, it was one of those. And I basically lost it, but I don't remember after that. I mean, I cried at the funeral, especially when they were reading kind of the piece that I wrote about her and seeing some of the pictures. But it was like once that was over with, I don't want to say it was over with. Like
you don't need constant reminders. I'll put it that way. So you don't need, like on Mother's Day, it's not like, okay, something needs to be done for me or I don't need to do something to remember my mom or to acknowledge. Or it's not like you
around the holidays or
or even I don't know, your birthday, her birthday, Mother's Day, stuff like that. It's not, you're just not one of these that needs that not even constant. You don't need or have to have that. I don't even know what the word is.
But so for example, like when you see somebody on Facebook will say happy heavenly birthday.
Oh God, don't.
Like I don't and don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to think about it the way I think about it. It's just sometimes I'm like, well, does that make me an asshole? Because like the thought of saying that, like to me, it just doesn't resonate with me. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I don't miss my mom, because I do. And there's times I think, especially when it comes to Lauren, where I definitely wish she was here to help me through stuff and help her through stuff. I that part of it, but I don't have that, her birthday's rolling around, I'm thinking about her. Mother's Day's rolling around, I'm thinking about her. Like it just doesn't resonate with me. And I feel like that's a lot of times where like I struggle to go to funerals, because I feel like I don't really know how to think or how to act. I remember specifically, we had a 7th grade coach, Coach Jones, best coach I ever played for by far. And if
Sorry, guys, if
my
you're
buddy
watching
Mike
on the
is
YouTube,
listening,
I apologize.
my
My
buddy
hips are killing me.
Mike is listening to this. He'll kind of be able to back this up. But best coach I've ever had. We won county championship with him in 7th grade. He was one of these, like he was a very religious guy, very, very hard to play for, but you wanted to run through a wall for this guy. But anyhow, he was, I think, one of the people that was kind of instrumental in kind of getting me to understand Jesus and God and everything, because he talked about it with us, which you probably don't do that much anymore as a coach now. But anyhow, after we finished that season, I can't remember if it was while I was still in the 7th grade or maybe when we went to 8th grade, he hydroplaned, lost control of his vehicle, and ended up dying. And I remember going to his funeral, and it was almost like, I know I didn't cry, but it was almost like there were a couple times where I felt myself almost like smirking, almost like laughing. And I don't know, it wasn't anything that was funny. Maybe I just didn't know at that time how to process my feelings. I don't know, but it's just, I don't, so it's like when you go to a funeral and you see everyone's like crying and stuff like that, it's hard for me to get into that mindset. And I feel like it makes me feel like shit, because I do miss them. I mean, I love the people. I mean, the people mean something to me, but it like death just doesn't hit me the same way that I think it does other people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, we've got a friend that passed away, just over a year ago, and there are times where our friends were, they're wanting to do things to maybe remember him or, bring light to it and stuff like that. And certainly if they want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But there's times where I'm thinking, like, that's just not my thing. And then it makes me think, well, does that mean that I'm an asshole? Does that mean that I wasn't any closer to that person than anyone else? No, I don't think that that's the case. And I don't think I'm an asshole. And I miss people. I just maybe miss them in a different way. Like, I don't know. I've never really been able to, in 46 years.
Or maybe you compartmentalize that.
Yeah.
That part, or maybe it is you truly just move through grief that quickly, like, and it's not.
Yeah, and because I remember when my mom passed away, I was still working at Geico, and I remember when I finally went back to work, because I don't think I was off very long. I remember I went back to work, and it would drive me crazy for people to come and say, "I'm sorry, I'm this." It was just like, look, like that happened last week. I'm not in that I'm not in that headspace anymore. You know what I mean? And again, I don't think that meant that I missed my mom any less or that I love my mom any less. I think compartmentalizing, you're right. I think that probably is, because I do feel like that for most of my adult life, I've been able to compartmentalize things pretty well. And that's how I think I prevent some stresses from not bothering me maybe the way they would some other people or whatever.
Maybe.
But I don't know. I don't know if this is, I don't think it's just a guy thing, because there's guys who I think, or whatever, but and it's odd to me, because I feel like otherwise I'm a pretty emotional person. Mm-hmm. I'm not, it's like we're watching a movie, like I'm not scared to cry. I'm not scared to tell people my feelings. I'm not scared to to share things. And hell, if it has anything to do with a dog, I'm going to get emotional about it. But
Yeah.
so it's just odd to me that I just have never really processed it the same way that a lot of other people do.
Well, it almost comes off as in a get over it already. Like that's for sure how you don't want it to come across. And depending, on what it is or who it is, it could, I suppose, come across that way.
Yeah.
And I'll be very interested to see as I get into more of your chart in my certification is there something innately about you? Is there something in there in this chart that kind of says this is why Kent is the way that he is with this? So,
yeah. And again, I just it baffles me only because of how open and emotional I am with damn near everything else. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, it's crazy, but I've always struggled with that, which is, I don't want to say the only reason why I don't like going to funerals, but it is one of the reasons, because I just feel like I don't know how to act. And I feel like that everyone's going to be acting and displaying their feelings differently than I'm going to. And it makes me a little uncomfortable, only because I don't want to come off like I don't care. I don't want to come off like it does that person didn't mean anything to me, because that's the farthest thing from the truth. But it's I don't know. I'm going to be interested in seeing what you.
And there may not be anything in your chart at all.
It may just be I'm messed up in the head.
It may just just maybe that's how you are. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely different, I think, for the most part.
Yeah. How would you say you are? Like Because I think
I'm actually pretty similar to
I mean, honestly, like when I think about like your mom, I feel like you were kind of the same way. I mean, obviously you were upset, and but you went into, when you went up for the funeral, it was like you and Aaron were in problem solving mode. Where are we going to do this? Where are we going to do that? And I don't, but I feel like even after the fact, I think you got upset and everything.
I think I probably have been processing, and I had been preparing myself, because we knew this was happening, and we had a 3-year period of, we know this is happening. There's no way it's not happening. So I think in the back of my mind, I probably was always preparing myself for that. And I think once it finally happened, well, first of all, the couple of days, as soon as I got there, I was like, okay, I just need more time. But then once she kind of just slipped away into, that coma state, it was, please let this happen quickly. Yeah. Don't drag this out, because it's too hard. And so at that point, I'm like, please let this in. And then once I got back home, I took another week off to just give myself time to, I think process those emotions. I think one of the best things my mom ever did for me is she left one of her journals, and I use the word journal lightly, but I think she had written in several different notebooks, and this one she left specifically to me, and it really was just kind of how her days were going, and then sometimes she would write like a specific line or note that was specifically to me. And I just read that, frontwards. She actually wrote it. She wrote all the front pages and to the end, and then she wrote from all the back pages all the way to the front. So not how somebody normally would probably do that, but that was very helpful to me, because it literally went up until almost.
She just couldn't at that point.
Until she just couldn't do it anymore. And so to see where her head was at, during all of that, it was very sad, and there were a lot of tears, but I think it probably just helped me move through it. And then, but you're right. I'm one that when I think of her, it's usually with happiness or
I think that's how I am too,
good thoughts. It's not. I mean, obviously, I do wish that she was still here and still around, but it's more so, I think probably think on the good things rather than my sadness I would have possibly. Plus, I think I don't know. It's almost makes you feel like, do I not have that caring bone? Like, am I just do I just not have that emotion? Which I know is not true because I am a freaking emotional person. So that's why it does make me feel a little bit like, fuck, like, am I just an asshole? I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I would never want anything to happen to my child, obviously, because I think that probably would be much
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Or, my spouse even. But
But I mean, you bring up a good point. Like when I think about, like I've only experienced death, a handful. It's not like I've known a lot of people, but like you think about my mom.
the close person really was your mother. That was
Right.
it. Like that there's nobody else.
And we knew that it was coming. It's kind of like your mom. Like, there was a period of time where it's like, okay, now is the time. And I almost wonder if maybe that is part of it as well. And then the other thing, like with our friends, for example, we have some friends that are uber compassionate and considerate of other people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes, when they will do things to think about someone or remember someone or whatever, it's because they have a level of compassion and consideration for others that
it really highlights the fact that you don't.
Yeah. But again, I think there are plenty of times where I'm like, I mean, you hear me say the word all the time. The number one pet peeve is when someone's inconsiderate. And so there's just a different level of it, a different way of maybe showing it. But I think that's part of it too, is because, we've got some friends that are really, but they're like that about everything. They're creative about this. True. They're creative about that. I mean, they're over the top on this and they're over the top on that. And just like, I'm not.
That's true. I've not really thought about it from that standpoint as well.
And when I say over the top, I mean over the top in a good way.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's almost just like they take the way they are about a lot of other things, and it just happens to be applied to, the loss of a close friend, and it's just like, man, am I an asshole just because I don't necessarily feel the same or think the same way or remember the same way or I don't know. It's something that has and probably will always bother me, just because I just have never really known what is really the
and thankfully so. Like we're not.
Well, I'm glad I'm not practiced up on this. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not wishing that on us or putting that out there. I hope I don't have to find that out, but yeah, I don't know. It came up recently, and I'm like, what? Why? I'm thinking about you.
Do you feel like I make you like that? Do you feel like that you're somewhat like that, maybe because I'm like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I was just wondering what you thought about.
I don't think so. I guess when I think about it, I do think we are very similar in that. So then I'm like, well, fuck, what's wrong with both of us? What? There's something in both of us.
Friends? I mean,
I don't know. Anyway, it'll be interesting. I would love to get
This is a topic that I would love a lot of people to get engaged in.
Well, yeah, I would too. And are we the oddballs here? I would love to have a reading of some sort, that if somebody that could tell me why is that? What is that about me? Is it just that I've had? Is there a trauma that I've had? Maybe in a past life that I am pushing.
Maybe we're AI. Maybe we're not real humans.
Maybe we aren't
real
humans. AI. That's actually possible. Do you want to talk about our money balls that we made?
We can, but let me bring one thing up real quickly.
Okay.
I saw this on TikTok today, which I think this is really cool. I hope I'm understanding the way it actually works. But they, when a new product comes out, you have all these people pitching it on TikTok and everything else. Mm-hmm. Well, they make these flavored, and they look like vape pens. They're flavored, but they don't have product in them. But there's so many people that it's scientifically proven that this right here is as much of the addiction as anything else. And so they have these however long, but it looks like a vape pen, and it has rubber on the top, which is you like to chew, you chew it, and it has a hole on both sides, so you still get that draw and you still get that flavor.
Yeah.
It's just not filled with a bunch of poisons and additives and
How do
nicotine.
we know? How do we know it's not filled with that?
Well, I mean,
what is the product that they're actually vaping in?
I don't know I don't know the answer to that. That's why I'm saying I hope I'm saying
Okay.
this right. From what I can tell, it doesn't look like you're really vaping anything. They're not blowing anything out. Nothing's coming out. I think it's probably just like lined with a menthol or a juice. Like I don't know how it's able to get that taste outside of. It appears as though it is something
Just a psychological
just
thing.
a psychological thing,
It's just
and
the
taste,
placebo
and the,
effect.
the movement from your hand to your mouth,
Yeah.
the drawing, and so. Anyways, I was happy to see that. I mean, because I think a lot of people have said, okay, well, I vape now versus smoking. Well, I think they have quickly proven that vaping is just as harmful, if not more harmful than smoking. So especially for younger people, this may be an alternative that can help them, move past that. So anyhow.
Okay,
I
that's
thought I was
kids PSA.
No, but seriously, like if you're trying to quit vaping or trying to quit smoking,
Yeah.
or you have kids that have gotten into it and you're trying to, like, you might want to look into this.
Yeah.
And if we can get them, we'll get them on Annie's TikTok shop.
Oh.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you want to talk about our ceremony, our ritual
Yeah,
that
the money.
I had you
The money ball.
participate in with me? Yeah.
Sure.
So I said I wanted to do this. I'm a part of a group, first of all, and one of the things that we did in one of the ceremonies was we made a money bowl, and you can call it casting a spell. You can just call it intention setting ceremony, a ritual, whatever you want to call it. When it comes down to it, it's just about your intentions, setting intentions, and giving gratitude. That's what it was. But do you want to talk through what we did? Because watching you do it, which, I mean, I've never taught anybody to do this, so I'm doing it for the first time myself, and I'm kind of fumbling through and trying to instruct you on what to do. But looking at you on the other side of the table do this, you looked so awkward. Were you feeling?
But you looked awkward. I
Were
was copying you.
Were you feeling awkward about doing this?
No.
What did you think?
First of all, like I fully believe that this stuff works. I think that setting intentions, I think showing gratitude, I think, having the right mindset, manifestation, I feel like all that works. I've seen it too much through you, and I've seen it too much through me to not think that there's something to it.
Yeah.
Now you still have to follow it with big, bold actions. But I do think that it does work, and I think if nothing else, it at least puts your mind to where it needs to be, which is what you want to achieve and everything else. So, so anyways, there's certain bowls that you're supposed to use. There's was it Epsom salt we were pouring in there to hold your candle, and then there was certain stones that Annie had in there.
Crystals.
Yeah, there were certain ingredients that, like, cinnamon is good for abundance and.
I don't know.
And then there was like 3 or 4 other ingredients.
We used a bunch for abundance and prosperity and money. And
so you're supposed to sprinkle them and mix it into your salt. And then,
we whispered our intentions into the herbs before we put them in the bowl.
My intention with this is to help bring prosperity and abundance. Thank you for that. The thank you part was the part I was like, so the first time I said it, I almost started laughing. But then I'm like, well, why wouldn't you say it? Thank you for bringing that into my life, or into my mind at least. And, I think I put a $10 bill in there because that's all the cash we had. And then I drew houses on paper and put those around there. And so, and the candle's apparently supposed to be green. So we have a green one. It's a longer candle. And it's supposed to burn all the way down, but you're supposed to do it over the course of a month. So I have my bowl sitting up on my dresser, and Annie's is somewhere else. She already burned hers today. I thought we were doing it together, but apparently it just was a one-time thing. So anyhow, so I think you're supposed to do kind of your own ritual type thing over the course of the next month.
If you do it until your candle is burned down, and this is going to be up for an entire lunar month. So just as you feel the urge to do it, light your candle, give thanks, give gratitude. If you want to put new intentions into the bowl, you put new intentions into the bowl. The most important thing is that you just don't take anything out of the bowl. And we're going to leave it up for an entire month.
And the other thing is, when you're done with the candle, you don't blow it out. What is the thing
You
called?
snuff it.
You snuff it out.
I ordered a snuffer today, actually.
You snuff it out because apparently when you blow it out, you're blowing it into the air, which can almost dilute it, for lack of better words.
Yep.
So snuffing it kind of keeps it within that bowl. And, the thing is like some people can think this is quirky, and I get that. Some people can think this is sacrilegious, and I get that. I don't see it like that. Like, I feel like that if you're talking to God, you're talking to the universe, you're talking to a higher being. Like, in my mind, it's all of the same.
And I absolutely, you can be talking to God, your higher self, source, the universe,
All the above.
Buddha, Jesus. Like, it does not matter who it's all in what you believe.
And at the end of the day, regardless of who it is that you're talking to, at the end of the day, there really is, there's not a saying that's mind over matter. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't a real thing. And so you're really putting into your mind things that you want to be stronger than what it is that you're doing. And whether or not it's through meditation or intention setting or, lighting candles or praying or whatever it is, it's really all the same thing. It's just putting the right thoughts into your head, setting the right intentions, and then turn around and take an action. And if you have those right intentions going into those actions, I think it's fair to say that you're more likely to achieve those things.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was a nice little ritual to do, and I really resonate with those type of things. I'm doing several new things, which is why we didn't have a podcast last week, because I have gone ahead and taken the leap to start a human design reading course certification, so I can be a certified human design reader and actually do that. I started a somatics.
Is this your hard launch?
Sort of,
Okay.
I guess.
Your semi-hard lunch?
I guess my semi-hard lunch. I
Semi-erect
started
lunch.
a somatics for healing course. It's a 30-day self-paced healing course, and that I think is going to be like huge. I mean, I think huge. And then I have decided that I am going to host a little mini retreat, like a little spiritual retreat where, I'm going to have different people come in and, we'll do different things. I haven't completely fleshed that all out yet, like where I'm going to have it or exactly what services or things that, I'm going to have there, but it's going to feel very, very spiritual, very goddess, very luxury, just very
Zen.
Yeah. Like, what did Kelly said? Fuck that frequency. Like, it's just going to be all the things like that. So I'm very excited about that too.
Well, and I'll tell you, like, I think we've probably talked this before. Like, I live vicariously through you when it comes to this stuff. And what I will tell people is,
You're not going to go out and search it on your own.
yeah, like, or if I do, no, I'm not going to at all, actually. I was thinking if I do, I'm not going to do it to the same extent, but I'm not going to at all. But I do love to hear you talk about it, because I know the way I see it makes you feel, and naturally it makes me feel a certain way. And I know that, if I'm feeling that way, there's got to be something to it. It's, but I say all that to say that if there are people who, like, you're curious, you're wondering, like, Annie would love to talk with you guys about this. And it doesn't mean that if you listen to her or that you get involved in it or anything like that, it doesn't mean that you don't believe in God. It doesn't mean that you don't, still have the belief that God is the higher power or anything like that. I think that you will be very surprised at how freakishly, eerily accurate a lot of this stuff is.
You're talking about like the human design piece of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And because it's just like, well, hell, I have been that way my entire life, or I have never thought about it like that before, but I'm designed to be that. We've even like stuff with you, and it's just like, well, that explains it. We had a conversation, I think it was last week, and we were talking about, man, we wish we had known a lot of this stuff when our kids were growing up, because like Jackson has a lot of the same human design stuff that Annie has when it comes to getting into something, getting excited about it, and then moving on, getting excited about something, moving on. And I remember, I mean, we were going to be professional this, professional that, expert at this, expert at that. It would just be like literally you were just talking about something else. And it used to drive me insane. But now when you're looking back at it, it's like, if you really believed in this human design and you really understood it and you're like, that's the way his mind is made to think, I think that it would have made, I would have understood it a little bit more. I think just like now when you're like from one thing to the next, and I'm just like, gee, I feel like I have a much better understanding of it now, and it doesn't frustrate me nearly the same way it used to before I understood it.
It's very different in the way it presents in me versus the way it presents in Jackson. We definitely both have an undefined G center, which is the identity center. So we struggle with what is our identity supposed to be, whereas I am a line 3, which is very much the experimenter. He doesn't have that. He might have some of that in his chart, but he doesn't have that piece of it. So it's just so amazing. And I'm just scratching the surface right now of the different energy types and the strategies and the authorities in the profile lines. But man, when I'm fixing to dive deep into the gates, into the channels, I'm so freaking excited because that's the stuff that I just don't know yet.
Yeah.
And that is the difference maker. My God. And it's so crazy because it's like a thumbprint. Like nobody's is the same. Like
the one thing
you will not have the same as somebody else.
Yeah,
you might have a lot of similarities, but you will not have the exact same chart.
The one thing that I find interesting, and I don't know enough about it, is like the energy piece of it. Like when you've explained to me, when you get around someone and there's a particular energy, like you almost know immediately, and it's like, okay, I know how I'm going to react around this person. Or when you say, because of the energy that you have, I think you said you're an absorber, or at least you're an absorber of my energy. So even when we're just laying in bed together,
well,
you're absorbing my energy.
Yes.
And I'm not.
You have a defined sacral. That is the life force energy. You have a natural life force energy that you can pull from at any point in time to go. I don't have that defined that defined sacral. And so I am constantly absorbing that energy from you, which can be good because I can pull off of it and make myself go, which I have other energy centers that allow that too. But it also allows me to get super excited with you sometimes and feed off of your energy. But the downfall to that is because I am a manifestor and because I do absorb a lot of energy, I absorb it all the time. So even when we are sleeping, I am absorbing that energy for you. So actually, I should really be sleeping by myself, or at least some of the time, to disengage and be outside of your energy. And that's why I tell you sometimes, like, that's why I need a lot of time alone, is to get outside of your energy and what you're putting off.
So this is a perfect example of, before understanding that, I would have just immediately thought, you don't want to be around me.
Right.
And of course, I always want to be around you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so that's a perfect example of, that was a piece that was an area of contention at one point for a long time, honestly. Whereas now it's like, when you say that to me, I think about it differently and I understand it differently, that your need for that is much, much different and much deeper than I thought. You know what I mean? So that's just another example of how learning this and understanding this about yourself and about your partner and everything else, it really can help. So.
Even the way we are meant to sleep. So I am meant, which is kind of funny because I do it without even realizing that I'm doing it. I'm meant to have a wind down process. I can't just be like, let me go jump in bed and go to sleep. I need a wind down process, whether that is get in bed and do some self-care, or get in bed and read a book, or stand in my bathroom away from everybody where I'm not around you, take off my makeup, do my whole self-care routine. That allows me to get rid of the energy that I have taken in all day long, whether from you or anybody else, because I do absorb a lot of energy. And it's just because if I have all that energy, then it will impact sleep, which I think is really interesting.
And by the time you wind down, I'm asleep.
You're right, exactly. But you're meant to do that. You're meant to exhaust all of your energy throughout the day, not right before bed, but all of your energy throughout the day, so that when you go to bed, when you are tired, you can go to bed and go right to sleep. You're actually not meant to get in bed and watch a TV show necessarily, or really you're not meant to get in bed and like do something that's going to interest you, I guess, because that's going to ramp your energy back up and not allow you to sleep. But if you it's interesting because the days that you're like, man, I really hope I can sleep, are probably days where you just haven't exhausted all of your energy throughout the day. You need to go do either some more mental things or do some things that really excite you and that you think are fun. Go do those type of things. And if you do that, you're going to find out you're going to probably end up exhausting.
I feel like you could help with that. Just saying.
Oh, God. Okay. I feel like I just walked myself right into that problem.
I need your help, baby.
Oh, God. Okay. Rewind.
All right. So
anyway, I geek out on it. I'm so interested. I cannot wait. Hard lunch. I can't wait to start doing readings on it. They'll start out very high level and they'll go deeper just depending on what the person wants to do. But it's great for self-awareness, but it's also great to how you interact in relationship, with your kids. If you have a parent that is in work relationships, like it's just really, really great thing to have. To know about. So
this might be our longest episode.
It is. And we are talking about possibly taking a slight hiatus.
Are we at 50 yet?
We're not at 50 yet. So we're trying to decide if we're going to wait till 50 to take a hiatus, or are we taking a hiatus before 50?
Let's see how close we are after this one.
I think we're like 44.
Oh.
Yeah, that's still a ways away.
So that takes us past vacation.
Yeah, and then I feel like it almost takes us into football season. And like, do we really want to not go into football season without the podcast? Like,
I don't know. Let's table this.
Anywho.
All right.
Most podcasts take like some time off, so I don't know.
Well, most podcasts
but we're here for today.
We're not getting paid. So.
That's also a thing. All right, guys. Well, we love you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.